Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to Ether Aligned. My name is Ether, but I go by many names. Today I'm going to be doing a collective message. Last I posted was a pick a card. Now we're back to collective readings. I know I don't post often, but I hope I make up for it by posting when I can. I'm just here to guide and support. Please remember that these are collective messages, so some things you may pick up, but please take what resonates. Make sure to stay in touch with your gut feelings about things. If you tap in and you feel as if this message is not for you, then there's a chance that it's not. It's for somebody else in the collective. Sometimes people will listen to an entire collective message through and, you know, sort of intuitively pick on the things that are for their end of the spectrum, as we do end up going through very similar things as collectives under different circumstances personally. So with that in mind, let's get started with the reading. We have a beautiful earthy background today. Oh, it feels so good. I have completely dirty hands. And you ask me, Ether, do you mind handling your cards with hands covered in dirt? And the answer is, no, I don't mind. I love doing it. It's earth and we are connected to the earth, and you know, dirt is not a stranger. It's the homes that we live in that are the strangers more than the dirt is. All right, so let's get started. Spirit, what does the collective need to hear today? Let's pull a couple tarot cards. Spirit, what does the collective need to hear today? Oh, right off the bat. Okay, we have the Six of Swords. So it seems to me, collective, as if you are walking away from something right now, or maybe moving into what seems like more peaceful waters. Maybe you have been in rocky waters so far, right? I did get an image of like a full ship in a stormy sea, and the storm ending, and you know, calm after the storm kind of energy, not before but after. So I do feel like for the collective I'm speaking to, you may be in some sort of transitionary phase from chaos into something that seems a little more still. Can we get some more information on this Six of Swords, please, Spirit? Okay. We have the Five of Cups. Sorry, my ring was falling off. We have the Five of Cups here, which definitely feels to me like signifying some kind of loss for you, as well as the Eight of Wands in reverse. Anything else for the collective, Spirit? Knight of Cups, Queen of Wands in reverse, and the Hangman. So I'm very, oh yeah, we have Ten of Swords at the bottom of the deck as well. So yeah, you are going through an ending, collective. And from the looks of it, quite a monumental one with the Ten of Swords here. This feels like it was likely emotional in nature. Bird came by, thank you for the clarification, sweetheart. Yeah, definitely something emotional. Given the Knight of Cups here, the ending may have had something to do with your communication. It may have been something emotional, something close to the heart. This may have been a rejection, I'm hearing. So some sort of rejection to an offer that resulted in an ending. Perhaps you made an offer to someone and they rejected it, and now this is coming to an end, or you're thinking about walking away. Or the other way around, someone offered you something and you rejected it and are now thinking of walking away. Pardon me. Either way, I do see a desire to leave. Whether or not you have left yet, I don't know, because we have the Eight of Wands in reverse and we have the Hangman, which both of these are kind of telling me that something is not moving forward here. So we have movement, We have the energy of movement with 8 of Wands and 6 of Swords, but with the Hangman, there's pause. You've gone inward with Queen of Wands in reverse. Maybe you had some sort of, I'm gonna pull these up a little bit. I was gonna say maybe you had some sort of ending that required you to really look inward about maybe your self-worth, or what you're putting your energy into at this time. Once again, here with this emotional offer with the Knight of Cups, I do feel like for some of you, this was a relationship, some kind of opportunity, whether or not this was romantic or not, I don't know, but I do feel a lot of creative, watery energy here. You could be dealing with a person who is a water sign. This Queen of Wands in reverse, I don't know if I'm getting, if this is someone else yet, and in which case, for those of you in the collective where this is someone else, I actually do feel as if there's a strange element of like very watery jealousy, like it's emotional. Yeah, it's an emotional watery, it's not fiery like you would expect a Queen of Wands in reverse to be. For those of you, you are the Queen of Wands in reverse. I feel like it's, let me tap in for a second more. Spirit's kind of, okay, there's two. Okay, there's kind of two distinct groups here in the collective. For some of you, this Queen of Wands in reverse is yourself. You have gone inward because you have realized through this situation, whatever your situation may be where you have had to walk away, that you need to work on your self-confidence, your self-respect. Perhaps this whole situation has taught you something about your values, and you have realized that you maybe have not been as aligned, living as aligned in your values as you thought you were. In which case, this is a great time to pause and surrender and really just look back on where you have been. There's also something here about something being hidden here. I mean, with the 5 of Cups and with the 6 of Swords, we have a cloaked figure. So there may be something hidden here as well, which is why you're being caused to pause and reflect. So, yeah, gaining a new perspective with this change that's happened. And so you may feel like you're putting off a change, but in reality, you are actually just taking a step back to pause and reflect about how you have not been in alignment thus far, specifically in regards to your own self-compassion. So the other group of people, however, this Queen of Wands in reverse is another person, and they are sort of holding things up and delaying them from being able to, I guess, come to a complete closure, come to a complete ending, almost as if there was supposed to be some kind of closure that ended up not happening because of this very jealous, wishy-washy, watery, feminine energy that's coming in this Queen of Wands in reverse. And perhaps this had to do with your self-respect as well. Maybe this Queen of Wands in reverse posed some sort of threat to your self-respect. For some of you, this is both. You're struggling with this Queen of Wands energy, in reverse energy, from another person, and with yourself. So, like I said, it'll be different for everybody reading, but for everybody watching. But those are the energies that I'm picking up from in terms of this Queen of Wands in reverse. There's a lot of regret here. There are multiple energies in this reading. I'm just trying to discern whether or not they are yours, collective, like the different people in the collective that I'm reading to, or the people that you have in your life. Because I am reading for multiple people, you know, which is different than like a pick a card reading, because, you know, everybody who's watching this is going through big, like, arcing experiences that are different, and I'm going to be picking up on very different energies throughout it. But also, I think that all of the people I'm reading for are dealing with situations also surrounding other people. So I'm not only getting collective's energy, but also I'm getting the energy of everybody the collective is sort of attached to. So bear with me while I figure these characters out. I definitely feel like I need to pull some more cards. So let's dig deeper for each of this set, because I do feel like, and I love it when the cards do this, I do feel like these things are each kind of their own separate little sections. See how far I can move these and still be seen. Okay, I'm gonna pull from I have a new homemade deck that I'm going to be using today. It's not the one that I'm going to use first and foremost. I'm gonna use Old Faithful Soulfarer deck first. Which, if you're new to my channel, welcome, by the way, thank you for joining. I have a homemade deck that I love to use that helps me dig a little bit deeper. Just with, I've had it for ages, so it's definitely worn, but just with these little cards. Okay. Can I get some more information on this first row here, Spirit, with the Queen of Wands in reverse and the Hangman, please? Is there any more information that you can give me, Spirit? I'm going to go ahead and just pull a bunch of... Okay. You have? Oh, you can't see it. Let me see if I can... this is a different space than I'm used to, so I don't really have the privilege of my cute little desk that I have at home. So I have to do a little bit of reorganizing so you can see the cards. I do notice, though, that the algorithm on YouTube really likes it when the cards can be seen. So I'm going to try to do that here forward. Okay, we have humanity here. I'm also feeling like you may have taken a step back from spirituality for your mental health as well. Yeah, we have for yourself here. And also here on the back. So it's almost as if you needed to hear for yourself. So I'm getting a message about someone in the collective who maybe has gotten very into spirituality very quickly, has been listening to a lot of tarot readings, and has recently taken a step back to sort of think and hear for yourself. And there is definitely a message here about doing that if you have not yet. So if you spend a lot of time listening to tarot readers, but you don't go inward to hear for yourself what Spirit's saying to you, please do that, because there are some things that Spirit will not tell these readers that will only pertain to you. And it's just a really good way to practice discernment. So yes, definitely listen to yourself, listen to Spirit, take a step back forever if you need to. In fact, I think that taking steps away from your spirituality is just as important of a process in your spiritual journey and your spiritual awakening and understanding as the spiritual practice itself, if not more important, because when you don't take steps away to practice discernment, what happens are things such as like spiritual psychosis, and also like confirmation bias and things such as this. So you know, you don't want to spiritual bypass anything as well. So yes, take a break from spirituality, take a break from tarot readings, you know, whatever it is that you feel like you need to do or you've done. Definitely, you know, don't consider that stagnancy or taking a break in your journey. That is a part of your journey. You will learn things as you take a break. That way the information doesn't also get all goopy and like sticky inside of your brains. You don't want goopy, sticky, grody information. You want clear information from Spirit, right? And you know, we can fall into a trap with tarot readings where we watch so many and we forget that we have our own specific and very special relationship to Spirit. That can actually rob us of that if we are only relying on other people and other modes of information rather than our own discernment and understanding. And it's also okay to take steps back and, you know, rethink, is this what I believe? That is also very, very important to do, because you can find very important tidbits of information. All right. Yeah. I don't know. This deck's gonna give me much more here. This one is, you are deserving of a healthy body, a clean space, and your dreams. So yeah, there's, this is interesting too. We also have, oh, that's a lot of cards. Okay. I am gonna pull these though. So give me a second. Okay. We have, I'm gonna put them over, actually, I bet you I could just put these two right here. Yes, it works. It works. Okay, so humanity, for yourself, you are deserving of a healthy body, a clean space, and your dreams. We have power. We have your connection is trying to reach you. Shadow work. One-sided, true love. Oh, you can't see these. Well, you can't see them, but the message will be delivered anyway. We also have anger and parental expectations. So, with this stagnancy and with this Queen of Wands in reverse, I do feel as if part of, for some of you, what has sort of pushed this move in idea forward, whatever it is that you're going through, this movement that you're going through, right? And this grief that you're going through, or loss. There's so many distinct stories here that I'm picking up on. Back to the being discerning energy. I feel like this Hangman in reverse, Queen of Wands in reverse, is also you taking a step back from spirituality to regain confidence in yourself, to take a pause and reflect and see something from a very different perspective. And I think that you're trying to see things from a very human perspective right now, or that's what Spirit is encouraging you to do. So there's something about the mundane here. Thank you, little bird, for that clarification. There's something about the mundane here, the mundane everyday life, that is extremely important for you in sort of unlocking whatever this power is that you have. So for some of you, I do feel like you have a power coming in, some kind of spiritual ability or something like that, some sort of spiritual gift. While you're discovering your spiritual power and also connecting with a higher power and sort of understanding your spirituality fuller, because you have your connection is trying to reach you. So, and I do feel like the connection in the connection being talked about here is your higher self. And I think that part of what you've had to go through is that you throughout your life, you may have experienced a lot of one-sided relationships, starting with your parents, starting with your parents' expectations of you. Perhaps you grew up in a burning house, you know, perhaps you grew up where in an environment where anger was a predominant emotion, and it was uncontrolled and perhaps not communicated very well, and so you grew up quite angry, or you just have a very different relationship to anger than other people might. And because of this pressure and this experience, I do think that this has sort of placed itself upon your relationships. You know, your wounds growing up, your emotional parent wounds, have an impact here on your relationships as well. And so you're definitely being called to do shadow work, which is probably why you're called to take a step back. So I do see a priority here for you on the home, things regarding the home and things regarding emotion and family, and unpacking things about that. Let's pull. I am going to keep these here, but I'm going to like stack them a little bit so that you guys can see the other cards that I'm going to pull from this deck. Also, I said I do love dirt, and I very much do, but This deck is also new and I'm protective over it, so I'm gonna put this little pencil case down so that it doesn't get dirt all over it. Because it's so pristine right now, and I know it's not gonna stay like that forever, but I want to appreciate it while it is. Okay. Anything else for these top two cards, Spirit, that you want to clarify for the collective? Anything else here in terms of this? Okay. Some cards here. Ooh. We have mental illness, aura check, and doors. And we do have a couple more too, but I'm going to focus on these. Interestingly enough, I feel like for you, you have maybe some traumas that, oh, actually I'm gonna pull these. We have seek joy and ancient. I think for you, your traumas, whatever mental illnesses that you have, I do think that they are in direct relationship to these traumas that you've experienced in life, probably leading back to that parent wound. I keep hearing mother wound, so you may have a mother wound, so there may be something revolving your mother growing up that still impacts you now in all of your relationships and the way that you experience the world. And these things can sort of attach themselves to our aura. They can sort of attach themselves to our energetic body, our emotional body, for a very long time. But for you, I feel as if this is a door. And what I mean by that is I feel like it is an opening for you to go deeper into something that is actually very old. And I feel for one of you, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, okay, that was the message for someone. I don't think I need to say much more in terms of that. For someone, also there's a new deity working with you, and you know exactly what I mean by the door and the doors. So it could feel as if, yeah, as you're doing this shadow work, this energy is working with you. I do feel Hecate energy here, quite strongly, I do, yes. Something about a key. There's a bird who's getting awfully close to me right now. Aren't you beautiful? Hello. Hello. I wonder if I'm not going to turn the camera around because I feel like that would actually be intrusive to the bird somehow. But, yeah, you're just watching me. Aren't you beautiful? Yeah, a new deity working with you. What'd I just say? What's in the back of this one? Private. That's funny. I was just talking about how I don't want to pan the camera over to the bird because I feel like that would be... sometimes birds really don't like animals, like wild animals really don't like being filmed. Just as I was talking about that, he flew away, yeah. Just over across the creek, but yeah. They don't like being filmed very much, so I try not to. So yeah, there's a new deity working with you. This pain actually is a doorway to something. It's an opening to something, dig into something deeper. I feel like this is some kind of gift, actually. It's magical in nature, it feels, so perhaps a deity is coming to work with you through some kind of traumas, some kind of shadow work, and in doing this you will uncover something about your soul's history, something like that. Or perhaps this is a cycle that your soul has sort of experienced, life after life. Ooh, let's not knock over the camera. Okay, I'm gonna pull one more oracle card for this group of cards, and then I'm gonna move on to what we're moving away from, and getting more information on the on the Eight of Wands in reverse and the Six of Swords. But for now, let's just pull a couple of more cards here for the Hangman and Queen of Wands in reverse, and see if there's any other information that we can get. Anything else for the collective that the collective needs to hear about this Hangman and Queen of Wands energy? And I'm pulling from the Urban Crow Oracle deck. Insight. Yeah, you're stepping away to get insight and perspective. So this is a good step away for you, I feel. Either way, whoever is watching this, you know, this pause is not stagnancy. It is a pause that is absolutely ripe with information for you. You are taking a step back to see things from a bigger, different perspective that actually has a lot of history in your past and in your soul. And this may require you to do some things that you might not normally do, or dig into places you might not normally go. And there's also, you know, you may have contained some things. There's a lot of emotions that come with this that could have been contained and sort of locked away for a while. So, you know, definitely keep that in mind as you are working through this stuff. You may unrepress some stuff, which may be quite emotional for you. And it's okay that you may hit some emotional roadblocks along the way, which just means that you need to sort of, you know, pull over and, you know, evaluate moving forward. There may be steps that you take where you're like, you're going, and you're, you know, moseying down, driving down a road, and you know, then you have to like pull over and figure out another way around, because whatever this like bump was like kind of intense, something like that, is kind of the metaphor I'm being given. So, you know, you may have experienced a couple of intense experiences and feelings, you know, especially with the Ten of Swords that I pulled earlier. I do feel like there was an ending, a quite painful one, which I do feel like we're going to get some more information on. So, thank you so much, cards, for being here and being beautiful. Okay, so now that I got some more information there, let's sort of switch gears to this Six of Swords, Eight of Wands energy. I mean, what's up with that? What are we walking away from, collective? And what's stagnant? What's delayed? What's not moving forward? Can we have any more information from Spirit on this Six of Swords, Eight of Cups in reverse energy, please? Once again, we do have for yourself coming out here. So I do feel like whatever this change that you had to make was, this movement away, or this, you know, for some of you, beep, beep, for some of you, I wasn't expecting that beep. For some of you, I do feel like there's something about hearing something. Maybe you will be hearing something soon. I just got this. Sorry, that car horn just totally took me off guard. I really feel, for some of you, you may be just moving into smoother waters, or you have not, like I said, you have not left yet. In some way, there's some kind of delay in the actual like leaving process here. So let me just ask, Spirit, what is collective walking away from? We have left behind, and on the back of this card is lies. I feel like, and we have mission. I feel like for you, collective, this is something related to your life purpose, your mission. I don't know if the situation seems like it immediately, but I do think that it is a part of your path that it engages some way with this. Like, you've left something behind, and it's actually a part of your mission somehow. Or you are leaving someone behind. I meant to say something, but I said someone. So, you know, we have Sweet Perfumes of Incense as well. That song, yeah, this card is directly taken from the song from Prince of Egypt, where Moses finds out what happened to his people, and he finds out that he is not the biological child of his mother and father. He sings All I Ever Wanted in that part of the musical. I highly recommend Prince of Egypt, by the way. If you have not watched Prince of Egypt, go watch it now. It's so good. It's like a brilliant work of art of a musical. Like, it is absolutely amazing. The animation is gorgeous. Anyway, I could talk about it for hours, but I pulled this part. I had it stuck in my head when I wrote this song, which is the line that's like, sweet perfumes of incense, gleaming walls of alabaster stone, all I ever wanted. And he's singing about how this life that he's had, his entire life, this royal life that he has had. Moses has been given this royal life, living with the Pharaoh, being treated as if the Pharaoh's son, being a prince. And he has found out that this actually isn't his life, and his gut feeling, he knows that he's destined for more. He knows that his God is calling him for something way bigger. But this is all he's wanted up until this point. He never second thought this path for himself. He never second thought that, you know, Moses didn't think that he was going to be this prophet of God. You know, he didn't even know he was Hebrew. And so this experience of knowing and finding out who he is, who his family is, and knowing that he knows nothing can be the same now, because he now knows what has been done to his people, it changes the perspective entirely for him. And you are seeking a different perspective right now, right? So as you seek this different perspective, you may realize these things that you thought you wanted, you know, Spirit knows better and has better in store for you. And it might just be that, you know, the leaving of this behind is extremely painful because you never thought that you would want something different than what you were given. And everything seemed so good, and yet now, all of a sudden, you have to leave something behind. And things are changing, and it's very different. And you keep thinking about yourself in this scenario, and the different versions of yourself that you could be. You know, you may be tapping into, this is for someone very specific, but you may be tapping into like different versions of yourself to help you like decide what to do. We have a friend, guys. I wonder if I could get him to come over here. No, he doesn't want to be in the way of the camera. There's a squirrel here that's like coming up for some snacks, and I brought walnuts because I found out I'm allergic to walnuts, which means I can't have walnuts. Divine protection, I guess. I never really ate very many of them, but now I have lots of little treats and gifts to give the squirrels when they, oh my god, he's so cute. He's just like a fat squirrel just hanging out, sitting on the tree. I love him so much. Okay, sorry. I'll focus back in on the reading, but animals are cute, you guys. I love them. They're so special. Okay, so you have a mission. It requires you, however, to leave something behind. But I don't think, I think you want to, though. Like, I feel like you do and don't, you know, very similar to Moses here. I feel like you are experiencing this feeling of, you know, you need to leave something behind for your path, for your mission, for your own self-worth, but you were comfortable where you were. There was some element of joy, of happiness where you were, some element of feeling prosperous and gifted where you were already. So it can be hard to understand. I mean, especially here, you know, we have the Five of Cups and the Knight of Cups here. And, you know, this is all very emotional, watery energy. So we have this loss, and we have this loss. It almost feels like a loss of a gift, a loss of something, right? Some kind of something was lost. But it's also, at the same time as something is lost, something is being given. Pull some more of the new Oracle cards. He's coming back for more. I just put like a handful of the I just pulled a handful of the walnuts on the little like bench that's right next to me, and he keeps like coming, the squirrel keeps like coming down, like grabbing some and then going back up to the tree. It's like really cute. Okay, we have short hair. So this could be a synchronicity for you. You could have short hair, someone else could have short hair. Charming. So this feels like a person here. Someone with short hair who's quite charming. Maybe you've been thinking about cutting your hair. I highly recommend that, actually, especially if you've gone through some sort of like grief. Cutting your hair is very symbolic. I actually recently cut my hair by myself for like the first time ever. Like I've cut my bangs and stuff before, but I've never like given myself a full haircut. I did, and it was the most freeing thing I've ever done in my life. Like I've gone through, not to dig into anything personal, but I've gone through a lot this past few years where I've had to leave a lot behind also, and it was quite a liberating thing to cut my hair. So here with short hair, it's also shaved head. Oh, we have survival mode. Okay, so maybe you've been in survival mode. Once again, there's something about releasing attachment. So if you feel like you need to get a haircut, one, I recommend doing it yourself as a spiritual practice, and two, I say go for it, because it's very good to release all of that energy. Our hair stores a lot of energy. It really does. Our hair stores quite a bit of energy. So, okay. Anything else, Spirit, from this deck? Oh, hi, buddy. You're staying over here now. Is that a good walnut? Okay, we have feeling of being pulled back. So you may be feeling pulled back to something. Your body has something to say. You definitely may be feeling some sort of physical sensations within your body pulling you back to something. And yeah, I was kind of getting this feeling earlier, and there may be just something that you may be bypassing spiritually. Like for you, I feel like this may be, for those of you who are walking away from a person, some kind of relationship, your first instinct may automatically be one or the other, like a first instinct of why you feel pulled back to something. You may either go one way or the other in terms of the psychological or the spiritual, and Spirit is asking you to find a middle ground. So rather than immediately jumping to, it's because this person and I have a soul tie, think about the ways that your attachments have shown up in your psychological life up until now. If you immediately jump to, oh, this is because of my mother wound, you know, or this is because of some psychological thing or mental illness thing that I have going on, or, you know, you might want to think about the spiritual aspects. Maybe you have a spiritual attachment, right? So whatever way you're swaying, and I do feel like there are two people in the collective that are on very opposite spectrums, which I think is really funny. I feel like the collective I channel for is very much like that. It's a very broad collective, which is funny because I really don't have very many followers, but every time I tap in, it's extremely broad. I also may just feel like I may speak to collectives of like multiples. Like you may just have like a lot of energies within your like singular vessel. Like, so yeah. Also there's something about somatics here. So with your body has something to say and somatics popping up, I do feel like there's something about getting in touch with your body, and it will tell you more about this experience. Because you feel like you're being pulled back. There's something very physical about that. And you know, our bodies store consciousness just like our brains do. In fact, you know, there's been studies done about plants that actually suggest that things hold consciousness within bodies, not necessarily within minds, because plants have a form of consciousness too, and they don't have a brain. It's all within the body. You know, so it really strikes the question, you know, this is getting philosophical, but like, what if consciousness is not really something that we are, but rather something that we do? So we have to become conscious purposefully, and also engage with our body's consciousness, because our body holds a lot of information and a lot of memories. something about, so we have to take a bath, so something about a spiritual bath may be really helpful or significant for you, especially if you're going through some sort of grief, because that water energy can hold you, heal you, support you. Spirit is definitely saying to explore your feelings. So maybe you do something in the bath, do something in the shower, sing, or you do ritual baths often. Perhaps you do this is actually funny because this is something I do. You like to listen to readers while taking your morning or nightly baths or showers. There's something about silence here being incredibly specific, and boredom. I feel this energy of silence and boredom, and perhaps you're someone who you like it when someone else reads for you. This is so funny. This is I literally have been receiving this same message. It's something that I struggle with myself. Perhaps you feel like your mind is very loud and noisy, and so and you read for yourself and you read for others if you are a reader often anyway. So it could be hard for you to just like let your mind be quiet and just like talk to Creator, talk to your deities, or you know, whoever it is that you talk to. And so like, you know, you could always feel kind of tempted to like put on a video in the background while you're doing your ritual baths or showers, which is great. Like, I don't think that Spirit's telling you like, don't ever do this, but I do think Spirit might be like pushing you towards doing it less, because while getting information from other readers is great and brilliant, and we are supposed to be in community with each other, I really also definitely feel like you need to be going inward more, and you may be unintentionally avoiding going inward by always having to have something on in the background when you're doing these ritual baths and showers, which could actually be doing the opposite and preventing you from getting meaningful downloads yourself that you need to be getting. So just a mention, also just like processing grief and stuff. Yeah, can I get some information on this feeling of being pulled back, please? Caregiver. I feel like you may have a very caring presence, and this may be part of why you feel so called back to certain situations, because you want to care for people. You don't like leaving things unsaid or undone. You want to be the more caring person in the relationship. You want to be the bigger person. And sometimes this can lead to you staying around in situations, honestly, longer than is probably necessary. Yeah. Okay. Can I get any more information, Spirit? All this completely covering poor. These cards are double-sided, by the way, so if you see them flip over and they say something else, I mean, it could totally have meaning, but okay. Sorry, Eight of Wands was completely covered, so I was trying to get it back out. Oh my goodness. I have a card that almost just flew into the creek that I need to grab. But we have luck here. So I feel like you are flying into luck. Like I said earlier, you know, there is a big friendly giant is coming along to give you some walnuts as an example of this cute squirrel, who, by the way, guys, in case you're curious, is still here, is still eating. We also have a little bumblebee friend who is coming to visit and now leaving. So yeah, there's something about work, luck, success, karma, and it's a result of your good karma. I really just we have a heavy air, journal, and inner critic. So I really do feel like yeah, okay, a lot of information all at once, Spirit. I have to grab this card because it's making me anxious with how close it is to the creek. So, but I have to, like, I'm barefoot right now, so I kind of gotta do something funny to get over there. I got it. Okay. Teamwork! Okay, that's so funny. I was just saying, in reference to the squirrel, it feels like a big friendly giant has come along giving you some food, right? Giving you dinner, giving you whatever it is that you need, some some walnuts, but for you, it's not going to be walnuts. It's going to be something else, some other kind of gift. And you're in teamwork with spirit right now. So when it comes to this heavy air that you may be experiencing, I really do think that it's your own inner critic. Perhaps you are... I think that that's why you're being called to do this shadow work, because spirit has something to give you. And I think creation really just wants to make sure that you are doing what you need to be doing, so that when this gift comes to you, you don't second guess yourself. So if this is a psychic gift or a gift of creativity, you know, like something that requires you to do something that might seem out of the box, and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know how I'm ever going to make this work. Spirit kind of wants to get rid of that part of you that second guesses. And obviously that part of us is always there, right? Because it needs to be, like, there's discernment that needs to happen. But like, there's a heavier critic that the energies actually interfere, and that's when the critic becomes cruel, right? Mean. So we want to make sure that you're not being cruel to yourself, and you're also not closing yourself off to anything. And spirit is working with you on this new deity that's coming in, also working with you on this. Like I said, I'm feeling Hecate energy, but it does not have to be Hecate. I'm also very much feeling some Christ energy within this reading. So you may work with Christ consciousness, you may work with Christ. God is good all the time. All right, that's what I'm getting from here. Honestly, I don't feel like I have to pull any more cards on these two. Let's move on over here to the feeling of loss with the Five of Cups in reverse, as well as the Knight of Cups, and maybe see if we can get any more information on what it is that's being offered to you. Let me actually separate these cards a little bit so that I can keep them separated and they don't... Sometimes what happens when I make a lot of homemade decks is because all of these like little paper cards are the same size. I don't know why I'm completely missing the word for what these paper cards are called. I know they have a name, but I can't remember what they're called for some reason right now. Happens to me all the time. I'm just a little bit of a word loser. But, you know, it is what it is. Yeah. I apologize. Guys, I forgot what I was going to say. So, that'll happen sometimes. I have ADHD. We're just gonna run with it. Okay. Oh, I was gonna say, let's maybe see if we can figure out what it is that's being gifted to you at this time. I'm actually gonna pull these guys over here so that these guys can have a little bit more room to shine. All right. Can we clarify, please, Spirit, the Five of Cups and the Knight of Cups? Is there anything else that the collective needs to know in regards to these two cards? This loss and this gift. Start and stop. Yeah, so I do feel a little bit of hesitation, uncertainty, you know, roadblocks, really just having to like get in your... the car imagery keeps coming back where it's like you're in your car and then you have to pull over. And then you're driving along, and then you have to pull over, and then you're driving along, and then you have to pull over. It's like having to like pull over every mile to like refill your gas tank or something, like because your car just like eats up the gas so much. Like maybe that's your energy right now. Like you feel like you are going and going and going, and then you have to stop, and it's just like kind of like really frustrating. That could be a synchronicity for someone. We must let go of the myth that intimacy is going to be easy. We must stop romanticizing ease. We can do hard things. This feels like your path right now, like your path to spirit. I know that for some of you there were relationships involved in this. I do. But I don't think that spirit wants to talk about them. I think that you get readings all the live long day about these people. They show up in your energy, they take your energy from you, they, you know, like, and whether or not you love them, that's one thing, right? And that love, there's nothing wrong with that. But, you know, there's another thing when you're trying to do readings, any basic readings, and like, all you're getting is information about these people. Like, that's not what you want. Like, what you want is information about your path, yourself. Who cares what's going on for them? I know that you're a caring person. I know that you take on a caregiving role, right? You want to know what's going on for these people. You want to know how it's affecting you. But you know how you can get it to stop affecting you is by emotionally removing yourself, which I know that you're already trying to do. And it's just a heavy feeling, right? But you know, you can't pretend like everything is okay either. And I think that you may be attached to this idea that, like, this idea of repair, right? You may really care about repair when it comes to different kinds of situations. And so when a situation comes up where repair is no easy thing and it doesn't necessarily mean reconciliation, and like making things completely right or the same, or like mending things to the point where you can stay in each other's lives, if this is a person, which I do feel like for some of you it is, I really feel like that desire can actually prevent you from being able to move forward. And you know, there's a reminder here that, like, yes, it's going to be hard. Yes, you can do hard things. Like, you're capable of that. You're capable of pushing through this. Yes, it's hard. Yes, it's agonizing. Are you strong enough to push through it? Also, yes. You know, like, stop romanticizing the ease. It's not going to be easy. This path that you are on is not an easy path. The path that God has put you on is not an easy path. Your soul knows this. It could be hard to remember in our spiritual journeys why our soul has fucking seems like our souls are against us sometimes, you know, with like the kinds of shit that we go through, especially if you follow a belief system that where you believe that, like, your soul kind of pre-chose your path, which I do think that some souls do pre-choose their paths, and our souls have like made decisions that have gotten us places, like on higher dimensions in our higher selves. Have made decisions that have put us in certain situations, and it'd be like, do you hate me, bro? Or like, you know, like feeling like you're talking to spirit and you're like, why do these things keep happening to me? And it's like, I do think that, like, it could be hard to understand, you know, why we go through hard things, but I do think that, you know, most of the time we go through these hard things for a reason, and some people have a really hard time hearing that, and I understand completely why. Nobody wants to hear that. That's why one thing as a healer that I think all healers should know: never tell someone in the middle of their grief that all things happen for a reason, especially if it's a traumatic grief. That's something that they can hear and resonate with years down the line when they're healed, or months down the line when they're more healed than they are, right? But I don't think that telling someone that in the middle of their grief is a good thing to do, because nobody wants to hear that, especially if they're not spiritual, right? But when you are spiritual and you do understand, yes, things do in fact happen for a reason, it can be kind of like you were right, you know, kind of feeling, you know, like looking back at something years down the line and going, yeah, oh my gosh, that did happen for a reason. Insane. You just can't see it while you're in it, right? And I feel like I'm talking to someone who's quite aware of these kinds of things. So, but yeah, with this start and stop energy and this like energy of romanticizing ease, and, you know, maybe you thought that this movement would be easier than it is, but it's really hard, and it's hard to not want to repair, or it's hard to want to repair and not be able to repair, and know that you can't take the step towards repair. Yeah, let's see, is there anything else, something maybe I missed? I feel like there's something I'm missing here that I need to get some more information on. Yeah, I do, with weary and worn, I do feel like you're quite tired here. And I do feel like there are some people in the collective who may have been a little bit triggered by what I said about everything happening for a reason. Like, oh, you're saying that I deserved X, Y, X for a reason, huh? You're saying God wanted me to go through this horrible, traumatic, painful, etc., etc., etc. thing. And nobody's saying that. What I am saying is that people do funny things with their free will. People do cruel things with their free will. People do things with their free will that affect other people in negative ways. We could go through the many, many reasons why people do these things, but that does not change the fact that Creator gave people free will, and people choose to do with that free will what they choose to do with it. And the way that, and it's all a domino effect, right? Sometimes for better, sometimes for worse. It depends on what you make of it and what choices that you make. You cannot choose what choices other people make towards you, but you can choose the choices that you make moving forward. Our God is not an authoritative, controlling God. Our God is a God that values free will. This universe is not an authoritative, controlling universe. This universe is a universe that respects free will, right? When you are close with Spirit, Spirit will find a way to make whatever hardship you go through make sense in the long run. But we still have that free will. So do our enemies. It's a very complicated way of saying everything happens for a reason, right? But it's not a baseline everything. Don't confuse everything happens for a reason with everything happens because that's what God wants to happen. Don't mix up divine plan with divinely caused pain. Okay, that was just for someone. Not everybody in the collective got triggered by that, but I do feel the need to clarify that because that's something that I've had a hard time with on my spiritual journey too. When you struggle with any sort of trauma, I find particularly it's hard for people who have childhood trauma and assault trauma to really understand that everything happens for a reason shtick. Which is fair, honestly. I totally view that as fair. And I think that whatever you decide to make of it is yours. You know, you use that moving forward with your discernment. You know, ask extra questions. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. Goldenrod. Yeah, there's wealth here, though. And not quantum reality. So there's something funky with time going on here. I was definitely feeling this energy of like past and other like alternate versions of yourself energy. Like maybe you're just like, for one of you, this is interesting. For one of you, you have a very special connection with other timelines, like other like spaces of being, like other versions of yourself. This is going to be this is a very interesting download, but this is a synchronicity for someone who does something involving other versions, like parallel versions of yourself, where you sort of like look at your decisions and you can like see ahead in some way, like the timeline is really, really fascinating actually. But you may be doing it too much because you can't live your whole life trying to run the calculations first, you know? Amazing gift, it's astounding, but I do feel like Spirit's actually saying, you know, you have come so far, just let us gift you with something now, you know? Stop trying to like analyze every which way something could have happened, because now you're doing it for the past. You're not doing it to make proper decisions moving forward, but you're doing it like you're trying to go back in time and do stuff revolving time, and like, you know, you're going back and going like, oh well, if I had made this decision, what would have happened? Maybe you're even doing readings on it, like, and I think that Spirit's just like, really stop doing that, because you cannot go back and undo what has happened, because what has happened was supposed to happen. This was one of those things. Everything happens for a reason. This is one of those things. If everything doesn't happen for a reason, this is something that did happen for a reason. Okay, so like either way, there's a perspective that you're gaining, and I actually do think that you really know this. It's just that it was painful. It was very painful. Whatever it was that you went through was quite painful. Can I maybe get some more information on this like painful ending, Spirit? Like what it was regarding? The Chariot. So you did have to make a choice here. There's some kind of movement here. This feels very recent. It's a recent energy. So, you know, past couple of months. We have the World in reverse, and it's also not quite over. Like there are some things that have yet to come to a completion about this. Regarding this, like there's not quite the completion here. Yeah, not quite the completion. And you might not really know how to move forward with the Page of Wands in reverse. Or, this is interesting, this Page of Wands in reverse doesn't feel like your energy. Someone else doesn't know how to move forward. Someone wants you to know that they have not forgotten about you. Eight of Cups. You guys had to go your separate ways. Because whoever this person was a little bit domineering, controlling, and you had to go your separate ways. They have not forgotten about you. I really just think that the rigid environment that you were in wasn't serving you. you needed to go forward. You really needed to go look towards something new. Yeah, because there was too much confusion, and this person is now in a very heavy energy, lacking clarity, not really knowing where to move forward, maybe quite defensive at the time, and challenged right now. This is mean, but this person doesn't seem like the brightest. That's just an energy I feel. You, on the other hand, I feel like you're coming into union with spirit and you're learning something. There's also no right choice here. This feels like a follow-up on the energy that I was reading on a couple of weeks ago, where there was no right choice of how you chose to like go about the decision that you went about. You may have been one of the people that actually joined me in the reading where we prayed to be released of a burden of choice. And I do feel like that choice has been made for you now. And there was no right choice. Unfortunately, I do feel like it did involve a sort of betrayal, and now you are in a isolated phase. You are in a phase of isolation, because there was some kind of betrayal or backstabbing or backhandedness. Maybe you found out someone was talking about you behind your back, or they even said some nasty things to your face. Either way, I do think that this happened maybe in some sort of public environment or other people's ears and eyes were on it. Either way, I do think that ultimately the people around you, in case this is a worry, they know who you are. Anybody who's trying to act like you are not who you show up as, aka I feel you as the person that I feel like the collective I'm feeling like I'm talking to are very grounded, caring people. Like, you really care about people. You really work to make sure that and like the way that you engage with people is reciprocal and respectful, and you are a healer. You have healer energy, and I feel like whoever you've been dealing with may have been talking shit about you and painting you as something that you're not, some kind of cruel person. And I just want to say that the people who are actually around you know what you are like. Anybody who is lying about you knows they're lying about you, or doesn't know you at all, like literally has like never met you before and are only hearing things secondhand. But anybody who knows you, who you care about, they're not going to listen to what this person is or what these people are saying. You don't need this emotionally manipulative, crappy energy in your energy. Like, you don't need this person in your field. You don't need, like, that's why you need to walk away. It does not matter how much you love. I really do feel like this might have been like a situation where maybe someone you really do love that has relatively okay intentions towards you is being manipulated by this other person, and that's what's keeping you staying. But like, this person knows you. They know you. They know who you are. They know who you are, and they're not defending you. And honestly, as someone who's been in that situation, that's not fair. And they're gonna learn one day or another that this person does not have their best intentions in mind, right? So if there's someone that you care about and you're not wanting to move away from something because they're involved with someone else in one of these, like, just one of these stupid situations, like, just go take care of yourself, please. Just go take care of yourself. Whoever is meant to stay in your life and be around you is going to come with you and understand you and believe you, you know? So yeah, there's that. I don't want to read for this person. Their energy's not necessary here. Okay. Anything else, Spirit? Somatics, definitely. I think that you need to get in your body, get moving, please. Please get moving. Because you need a way to, like, release this energy. You need to release this energy and also do some sort of, like, spiritual pruning of these other people's energies that are within your space. Within you, you know. You might still be emotionally connected and emotionally attached, and that's why this is coming up, but you're being given something. You're being gifted something. Can I get some more information on what collective is being given? It's definitely something to do with confidence. Something about, can you clarify King of Wands in reverse, please? You're recovering from this energy. Like, I feel like, okay, for some of you this is an ex, so like, this is a controlling, impulsive, selfish, immature man who does not know how to keep things stable. or make stable decisions. Some synchronicities for someone. This person may have dyed hair. They may have scars or tattoos or something on their body. Also may struggle with some sort of like imposter syndrome, something like that. Also when it comes to, yeah, I do feel like you're recovering from some kind of loss. And we also do still have the Tower at the bottom of the deck. So yeah, none of those things had to be accurate or resonate with you, but they could be some sort of synchronicity or confirmation. Definitely the Tower though, and I think that they're going through their own tower moment. I feel like, you know, this was a long time coming, and honestly, the gift that you're being given is a gift of new confidence and new growth after this ending. And honestly, like a more like a better structured life, right? So like with the we have 5 of Wands in reverse here. I feel like your gift is that you don't have to deal with these people anymore. Your gift is that you don't have to live a conflict heavy life anymore. You have outgrown these people who are extremely prone to drama. You've outgrown them. You have outgrown these situations that require you to fight all the time, that require you to always be someone you're not. Like, you have way outgrown this. This is immature energy, and you're sitting here in like sage healer energy. You know, like, your gift is that you don't have to be in that energy anymore. That's like a big part of your gift, honestly, and it's going to give you more confidence, and you're also going to be able to like focus more on your material wealth. And you know, with the Devil, I feel like this is actually a freeing energy. You know, you're going to be able to actually engage with your shadow self in a way that's like healthier for you. And 10 of Pentacles. 10 of Pentacles. Yeah, this is a reward for basically all the bullshit you went through. I think that you were a lesson for somebody. Collective. I think that you were a lesson for somebody. Honestly. We have Justice too. So you're getting your justice. And the people who know you know you. You know, so don't worry about people who know you like falling for somebody's lies or manipulation. Somebody feels like they're lying, they're saying some stuff. Don't let it bother you, because the people who know you, and if they believe it, they obviously don't know you, because you're not like that. So, all right. Anything else, Spirit? Yeah, this person's just emotionally immature. You, however, have some energy coming in, passion, new adventures I'm feeling for you, collective, you know, and honestly, new friends that are actually, you know, three of Cups, and King of Cups. I feel like this is new friends and new community that's actually like worthy of you, you know, that like can actually help you, that like actually is on your level, and you don't have to worry about it anymore. They can actually like help you release your worries. I feel like, you know, you're going to be surrounded by more healers that are similar to you. Yeah. And also, don't have imposter syndrome when you meet these people. You know, you might feel like, oh, do I deserve to hang around these people, these healers? Or, you know, like maybe you have been wanting to like reach out to somebody or like befriend somebody, but you feel like you're out of their league for whatever reason, or like, you know, intuitively that you're supposed to like connect with someone, and you're like, oh, you know, I can't do that because they're so much this, or they're so close to God and connected like this, or they're such a powerful practitioner, healer, you know, they're so close and they channel so well, or, you know, they're so emotionally mature, or pretty, or whatever it is, or successful. I'll never fit in with them. Yes, you will. These are the people who you're meant to be around, actually. So don't trick yourself into thinking that you're something else other than what you are, just because you haven't been fully living that. It's time to start fully embodying that, and that means releasing that imposter syndrome. That's why you're taking this step back, right? We have try another method. We have tall. We have, oh, these are some physical characteristics. Broad shoulders. Psychic overload. Yeah, so make sure you're taking frequent steps back. The squirrel's like, where are my nuts? He finally finished the big old handful of of walnuts I gave him. We have stoic. So there could be someone tall, broad shoulders, stoic. This could be you. Wounded. So yeah, you definitely need to work through these wounds. Make sure you're not doing too much intuiting right now, because you're also going through some grieving things. Can I get some clarification on a tri-headed method, please? I feel like this might be just try something new with your spirituality, or something new in terms of releasing this grief. Might be something similar. There might be some sort of spiritual grief releasing exercise that you can do or look into. Some kind of new method. Whatever you've been doing isn't quite working, which is why you need to take a pause, right? So I do feel like that is a message here. Okay, anything else before I end the reading, Spirit? Anything else for the collective? Rest. Yeah, take right now to rest. You know, be grateful, express your gratitude to the universe, you know, tend to your wounds, you know, like tend to your wounds and stand tall. Also something with your hair, you know, yeah, restful. Braiding your hair if you have long hair, cutting your hair, doing things purposefully involving your hair. I wonder if I can get this squirrel to come over here, because he really wants another nut. I wonder if I could get him to like come and be my little outro squirrel, you guys. What a cutie. Well, that's the reading, collective. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed our little squirrel friend. I hope it was enlightening for you in some way. Really just, you know, make sure you're being restful during this time. Try not to be too hard on yourself. Work on that self-confidence. I mean, really, like, alchemize it. Like, the collective I'm talking to is powerful. Like, you have the ability to alchemize this pain into self-confidence specifically. And I highly recommend that you do that, because as you do that, you're going to be given a gift of some sort. For some of you, it's financial. For some of you, it's... I feel like it's kind of like a very well-rounded gift. Maybe it's like a powerful manifestation of some kind. That's a crystal, baby. Some kind of powerful manifestation. So you can kind of use it for anything, which is really great. So yeah, just remember your prayers are heard. Remember that you are loved. I love you. I hope you have a beautiful day, and thank you so much for tapping into this reading. If you really like the way that I read, please, 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 please leave a like or a comment. I read all of my comments. I really appreciate you so much. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, my email is in the description, as well as in the description of the channel itself. And yeah, I hope you have a blessed day. Mwah! Bye-bye.